Kled, the cantankerous cavalier, a champion with one of the most original mechanics in the game, which makes him pretty fun and often unpredictable. Personally, he's one of my favorite top picks. I love his personality and his quotes are hilarious. But what music goes well with him in terms of his theme? Let's find out. Remember, our goal is to create a playlist that feels like the champion and that shares the same vibe. Too often you go looking for a playlist for a champion and it's just a mix of techno music with no rhyme or reason behind it. That isn't us. We go for the full role-playing experience. Let's explore Kled's lore and theme to get an idea of what music could go well with him, and we'll go from there. Kled is a Earl from Vandal City that migrated to Noxus many years ago. So long ago that he was there when Noxus was founded, and became some kind of urban legend amongst the army of Noxus. A warrior without a drop of fear or cowardice, that fought in every major battle the Noxian Empire participated in, and acquired every possible military title and rank in the Noxian army. Almost every historical record of a Noxian war or battle mentions Kled, and his fearless march head-on into battle with his coward steed Scruggs. At the sites of Noxian conquest one can find signs proclaiming property of Kled. The thing with Kled is that he fights to protect his land and his property, but in his eyes all land is his, and he will defend his property from trespassers whichever way he can, which almost always involves a vicious blood-drenched rampage.
I didn't become a rear-forward brigadier admiral from running!
Obviously, the prevailing theme with Kled, besides his bravado and fearlessness, which by itself doesn't give us too much to start with, is land ownership and how he loathes trespassers. That can be directly tied to Bluegrass and Hillbilly music, to the lone farmer who doesn't want to be bothered. Do you know who Kled reminds me of?
Some people who've decided to be far, far away. Some people who don't like visitors. Some people like...
Hey, you! Get off of my property! Now!
Some people like fuzzy lumpkins.
Darn trespassers! I'll get anyone or anything that gets on my property. Get off of my property!
He reminds me of Mr. Fuzzy from the Powerpuff Girls. Same as Kled, he was always protecting his property and kicking out trespassers, and Mr. Fuzzy was always playing the banjo. I mean, you could probably tell from my accent that I'm not from the United States, so I don't really know if the stereotype is true, but that's the feeling Kled gives me since it's what I've learned from movies and TV. And this relates to what I've talked about in Rapes and Sex video about how media influences our perception. And honestly, I thought about pairing Kled with these genres even before researching his lore, just based on his quotes and how he's always yapping about his property.
You do realize you're on my property!
So, we'll go with those genres. As always, we need to pick the right songs with the right atmosphere, and obviously, they have to be good songs by themselves. To me, the perfect bluegrass sound for Kled makes good use of the banjo and is generally, although not always, upbeat. Fortunately, bluegrass has a wide range of speeds and moods, and will make good use of that. With this playlist, you'll feel like you're sitting with a shotgun in a rocking chair on your porch, vigilant of any trespasser to shoot his ass off, but at the same time like a fearless cavalier who charges into battle preferring to die than to give up his land.
My land begins where I walk. It ends where the sun don't shine!
To start, we have the Dead South, a Canadian bluegrass band with very catchy songs, great lyrics, and what appears to be the influence of heavy music. They sound very original, and one of their main instruments is a cello. How cool is that? I discovered them through their hit song In Hell I'll Be in Good Company, which has almost 300 million views, and it isn't surprising, the song's extremely catchy and cool. Next, we have The Devil Makes Three, an Americana band that grabs elements from various genres like bluegrass, folk, blues, and country. Of course, for this list we chose their more bluegrassy cuts, but I wholeheartedly recommend their entire discography. They're awesome. They were one of the first folk bands I heard when I first got interested in American folk through watching Sons of Anarchy. By the way, that series has one of the coolest soundtracks ever, so I encourage you to take a look at that too. It was pretty hard to go wrong with The Devil Makes Three. A lot of their songs could fit pretty well on this list, but my fave pick undoubtedly is St. James Infirmary, which is a cover from Louis Armstrong, but they adapted it to their style and it came out glorious. Now we have a band that I found while researching for this list, and instantly fell in love with them, and I can say that they immediately catapulted themselves to one of my favorite folk bands, Trampled by Turtles. I mean, even their name is awesome. Trampled by Turtles is bluegrass on crack, and I'm not exaggerating, they're extremely fast. But to me what's even cooler is that they are like a progressive bluegrass band. Their songs have atypical structures from the genre, and feature several solos from different instruments. It's clear they try to push the boundaries of what can be done with bluegrass music, and I love it. The song Codeine is a perfect example of their speed. The song is ultra fast paced, but it also has an eerie feeling, something that isn't easy to accomplish in fast songs. The vocal melody is catchy and soulful, and it also has great lyrics. But definitely my favorite song from them is The Outskirts, because it has that progressive expression I told you about. It's like if Dream Theater played bluegrass. We move on to the Grascals, a clean, pure, classic and straightforward bluegrass band from Nashville. They don't beat around the bush. If you like bluegrass, you like the Grascals. If there's one band that truly embodies the feeling and theme that I think Kled has, it's definitely them. My pick from them is Boiled and Cabbage Down, because it's simply a cool song and has that distinctive sound that I associate with Kled. Now we have a banjo legend, Tony Trischka, one of the most famous and influential banjo and bluegrass players in history. He was simply a must on this list. The songs are good, the banjo skill is divine, and it simply sounds like Kled. Tony plays a banjo solo titled Young Henry Medley, which is an impressive display of his skill. We round things up with songs from Adam Steffey and the Grascals to fill in the gaps and add length, while maintaining the same strong bluegrass feeling. And an incredible song from Earl Scruggs, Foggy Mountain Breakdown, where he plays with other prominent figures in the bluegrass world, and even Steve Martin. The song is a terrific display of musicianship and the bluegrass spirit. I really hope you like the playlist and use it on your Kled games. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the playlist and how you would expand it. Remember to press like if you liked and subscribe, and click the bell for more playlists. Next one could be for your main, and rest assured we'll get to everyone's main, so keep an eye out. Thanks a lot for watching, and remember, as the great Bill Hicks said, this is just a ride.